Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Apologies for my voice. It's a little bit it's a little bit rough today. I think I might be coming down with something. Yay, the joy of having children who bring home bugs and things. I'm so very lucky. Anyway, we are going to do our Mexican Grand Prix. What's going to happen this weekend tarot reading. We had a bit of a crummy US Grand Prix at COTA. I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a snooze fest. I completely forgot that it was a sprint weekend, so I didn't do a sprint aspect to my reading. But I mean, the fact that I got the tower for Max on reflection, I kind of thought that meant he wouldn't win. But now when I look back at what I said about the face on the witch, like deliberately blowing up the tower, that's so Max. It's so Max. And I'm not surprised he won. And like I was saying about Lando, him getting the Queen of Pentacles, he did mighty well considering he crashed out of the sprint race and he came second. So, you know, I mean, I read the cards the way that I saw them, and I'm actually pretty happy with that reading, even though the race itself was a snooze fest. Anyway, moving on to the Mexican Grand Prix. Let's have a look, see what's going to happen. So what I love about the Mexican Grand Prix is that it's happening around Halloween, or Dia las Muertes, the Day of the Dead, which always brings a lot of culture and color and festivities, and I love that about the Mexican Grand Prix. The Mexican Grand Prix itself is not one of my favorites. I usually think that it's pretty boring, but let's see what happens. So we're going to do like we usually do. We're going to pull a card for qualifying and see what's going to happen for qualifying. And then we're going to pull a card for the race, and then we'll pull a few cards for the drivers and see what's coming up. So what is coming up for the Mexican Grand Prix qualifying? Okay. Oh, and by the way, I am using the Friends tarot cards. And if you do not know Friends, you are not my people. If you're too young, go watch Friends. But yeah, when I saw this deck, I was like, yes, I need those in my life. Okay, so let's see what is coming up for qualifying. 10 of Wands. Ugh. It's going to be hard work. There's going to be a lot of struggle for qualifying. 10 of Wands is all about feeling overburdened. It's all about feeling overwhelmed, too much to do, trying to struggle uphill with a lot of baggage. I wonder if Checo's going to be there with his kids and his family. Just saying. Especially as he's going to be one of the Cadillac drivers next year. And he was one of the only drivers with kids on the... he was one of the only drivers on the grid last year who had kids, is what I was trying to say. So, 10 of Wands. Yeah, I think it might be a struggle. I wonder if there's going to be some weather, some rain. Something's going to make it a struggle. Something's going to make qualifying difficult this Saturday. So that's interesting. And I feel like a bunch of drivers who do have kids might be bringing their kids. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen for the race on Sunday. What is coming up for the Mexican Grand Prix on Sunday? Temperance. Temperance is all about balancing. Temperance is all about holding back, not being tempted by things, taking things easy so that you don't overdo things, finding a balance with aspects within yourself or your life. Temperance is a very introverted or interior focused card. I feel like the thing that I'm getting most from this card is I feel like we're approaching a time when team orders might become a thing. And you see Rachel here, and she has her coffee pot and she's pouring the coffee into the cup and she's trying to get a balance so she doesn't spill. And I feel like this is telling us, and like we have the 2 cups up here on the menu, and I feel like this card is saying there's going to be it's going to be a balancing act for teams. And I feel like teams like McLaren, who are struggling to figure out team orders and whether or not they're letting their drivers race or not, and there's no number 1 driver, and that's causing problems. And I feel like her foot in this spill here is kind of like you're teetering on the edge. You know, you're trying to have a balancing act here, but you know, you could slip up very, very easily. So I think Sunday might be the start of, we might start seeing some team orders coming into play. Not just with McLaren, maybe other teams as well. Like we even saw last week, Colapinto getting told to get out of the way for to let Pierre Gasly by, even though they weren't racing for points, or like they were way back down the field, which was ridiculous. And he's fighting for his place on the grid next year. So I just feel like now's the time that they're going to be balancing. And I feel like balancing people's emotions as well around things like team orders and stuff like that. So I think that's what we're going to see a lot of. And I feel like, will there be rain? Will there be weather between the 10 of Wands and Temperance? They're very grey cards. Her with her like foot in the puddle here. I think it might rain. We might see some difficulty with tires and strategy, stuff like that. Okay, so that's interesting. I always do these readings and then I look up the weather, and I'm usually pretty spot on with the weather, I must say. Last week I said that it was going to be hot, and then I heard later on in the day that there was a heat advisory and the teams were going to have to use their body cooling system for the drivers. So I'm pretty spot on with the weather so far. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out who's going to do well. So I always do Lando first. So let's do Max. Is Max going to win the race in Mexico on Sunday? Max Verstappen for the win on Sunday. Is it going to happen? Okay. Then let's do Oscar. Oscar Piastri. Is Oscar going to win on Sunday in Mexico? And Lando. Will Lando win? I was even dreaming about Formula One last night. I have Formula One on the brain lately. I mean, I always have Formula One on the brain, but yeah, I was dreaming that I was at a race and I did like a pit stop challenge and I won it, and I was going to be on like the big screen when they showed the competition of like the pit stop challenge, and then my alarm went off and I didn't get to show my family and surprise them that I won the pit stop challenge. I was so annoyed. Never been so annoyed that my alarm went off before. Anyway, Lando. Will Lando win? Will Lando win on Sunday? Will Lando win on Sunday? Okie dokie. Okay, so we have Max first. Ooh, oh, okay, well, the Magician. So it's looking like Red Bull is back. Red Bull is back again. Red Bull's back. Tell a friend. Sorry, I'm not funny at all. Anyway, the Magician. The Magician is very much a yes card, and lately Max Verstappen has been a bit of a magician. He has capitalised on McLaren's mess ups. He has been consistent, very much in the vein of like a Fernando Alonso, who's always there, always scoring points, even if he's not on the podium. He has been there to pick up the slack when papaya rules have been messing up the McLaren drivers. So the Magician is a yes card for me, that if Max doesn't win, he's going to do very, very well. And then we have Oscar. Oh, I got this card before for Oscar. And when I got this card, so this is a maybe / no. But the last time I got judgment for Oscar, he either won the race or he came second. But there was a judgment made against him by the stewards that took points away from him or knocked him way down the list of finishers. So that tells me that this could happen again for him, which even if he gets a podium, he may have that podium taken away after there's a judgment against him. Eek. Yeah. So I'm going to say not a win for Oscar. And then we have Lando. Ooh, 5 of Wands. This is a no card, but he's going to have to fight for position. He's going to have a fight on his hands. And it's not a bad fight. I'd say he's going to really enjoy whatever battles he has on Sunday with people. Probably with Max and probably with Oscar. But he's not going to win. Max, from the look of these cards, Max is going to come out on top. So there we have it. If I've missed anything, if you think that I have missed something in the cards, please let me know. I'm very excited for the race. I always am. Enjoy the Mexican Grand Prix and all of the festivities and all the colour that comes with it. And I'll see you for the next race. Bye for now.